Hello, students, and I hope you all are fine at your places. The earlier poem that we discussed, that was Wind. In that, the poet created a personification with the poem, with the word wind. And he talked to wind as if he is talking either to his friend or to some of his known person. And now moving ahead with the next poem, we are having Rain on the Roof. Rain on the Roof. Students, with the title, if we move ahead, then what we find? We find this is a common perception, a common element, a common aspect which has been picked by someone. Okay, in the form. And when the poem was composed, when it is written into the form of the verses, there may have been a kind of sensitive touch towards the specific one, towards that common one, and he picked up that element. But why don't we think that that specific element which was picked up by the poet or by the poetess in the form of either wind or rain, that sensitive aspect is the unique aspect, that sensitive aspect is the phenomenal aspect that we should seek for the enhancement of our personality, enhancement of our thoughts and perceptions. Because when a common element is taken by someone into an uncommon way, then it becomes uncommon when it is understood by the common ears, by the common eyes, with the common perception, and imbibed, absorbed and assimilated within an uncommon way. So let us unearth this common perception about the rain that we all are having with the uncommon perception that the poet is giving to us. So while talking about the text of the poem, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Students, in this stanza, as we are dealing with some beautiful poetic devices, literary devices, like when you see H humid and H hover, both of the letters are consonants and they are creating consonant sound. Okay, it's a kind of repetition actually. So humid hover. Then you can see with the second line also starry spheres. SS, again consonant sound. Then we can feel press pillow, PP. Again we can see cottage chamber, lie listening, CCLL. Okay, so this is actually a literary device that is known as alliteration. Whenever there will be the repetition of the consonant sound, please get acquainted, consonant sound, then it is known as alliteration. When it becomes about the vowel sound, then it is known as assonance. And then again in the third line we are having two words which are combined together, melancholy darkness. Melancholy darkness is actually no darkness will be having melancholy. Okay, so it is actually a hidden meaning in this. So that hidden meaning, when it is applied through a poetic device, it is known as transferred epithet. And even the darkness is personified also with the literary device personification when the poet says it is said. Then student, there is actually one one imaginative sound which has been created actually by the raindrops, but the poet created and invented his own, PATTER, pattern. So when such kind of poetic device is used in a poem to create the sound of something like hiss, the sound of a serpent or a snake, over here the sound of the raindrops, patter. So this is again becomes a poetic device, a literary device which is known as onomatopoeia. And with the beautification of these literary devices as well as the verses of a poem's first stanza, let us discuss when the humid shadows hover. Hover is actually a process in that mostly we find the choppers and the helicopters when they hover over a head. Okay, so that means the poet wants to convey to us that when the humid shadows hover over all these starry spheres, that means in the night when the sky is outcast with clouds and you find them hovering over the sky, where mostly we witness what the stars. And now instead of those starry spheres, what we find the humid, the moistured clouds, and we can call them the rain dropped clouds. And the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. Melancholy darkness, what is the transferred epithet over here? Actually, darkness, as you all know, we can compare it with the puzzlement. And melancholy is, we can call it sadness. So sadness and puzzlement, when both are combined, it becomes your past bitter experiences. So it can be that if you find yourself with the sky, or else if you find yourself separated from the sky, then the sky was having a kind of past, a kind of bitter past, a kind of sad past. And out of the sadness, out of the bitter experience, and out of the misery, what happened? He was blessed with the clouds, with the rain dropped clouds. And these clouds seem like what gently weeps in rainy tears, and the sky is crying, the sky is weeping. And out of his shedding tears, the tears are getting accumulated, the tears are getting accrued into the clouds, and the clouds are welcoming those tears and blessing us with the sprinkling them upon the earth. So that means we can get optimized, we can get motivated, that whenever there will be bitterness, whenever there are obstacles, then we will be blessed with something which would be given, which would be bestowed upon us by the Almighty, and that something will be having the ultimate award and reward of a bitterness. And when the poet witnesses, when the poet gets encountered with this beautification of the nature, he says, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed, in my bedroom, in my house, or in my comfortable zone, when I come across with this beautiful incident, with this beautiful experience. So it seems for me as an ecstasy, as an ecstatic moment, as a blissful moment, as a happy and cheerful moment, and lie listening to the patter, and I keep on listening to the sound which is created out of the raindrops, of the soft rain overhead, when the drizzling, when the raindrops, they strike upon my roof, and when they create the sound, when they strike upon the ground, and when they create the sound, then the sound is welcomed and heard with a patience and with the beautification by the poet. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their all threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Again, with a few specific poetic devices, you can find again tinkle and patter, onomatopoeia, because the sound has been created. Then dreamy fancies. It seems as if what kind of dreamy fancies there can be, but it is actually the excitement. Either it can connect yourself to past, either it can connect to yourself to the present. So again, it is a poetic device that means transferred epithet. And students, while talking about the alliteration, again over here we are having has an echo in the heart, H, busy being, B, and weave, woof, W. So that means this is a few examples of alliteration where the consonant sound has been created and weave their air threads into woof. That seems like a living thing, and a living object is doing the task. So again, it is an example of the personification. So furthermore, moving ahead, the poet is describing in the poem that every tinkle on the shingles are actually the rectangular wooden tiles which are set upon the roof. So he's saying whenever these tiles, they are struck by the tinkle, by the sound of the raindrop when it comes in contact with the shingles, as an echo in the heart. That means the sound, the soft sound, the connection of the shingles and the tinkles, it creates a connectivity within me, deeply and within me with my heart. It is not, a sound that I am listening to from my ear, but it is the sound that I am feeling from the heart. And when something, okay, comes with that deepness, then it becomes, you can call it phenomenal. Such kind of incident brings a lot of changes and transformations, as the poet says furthermore when he says, and 1,000 dreamy fancies and all my excitement, either it was of past, of present and of future, okay, those all excitement into busy being start, I might have forgotten, I might have skipped, I might have left aside out of being start, busy being start, out of the busyness of the present. And then he says, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. And when I come across with this beautification, then I feel a kind of transformation in me, and I start becoming optimistic. I start becoming, I start getting energized and encouraged. And somewhere the miserable heart, somewhere, the gloomy heart that I had earlier, it started rejuvenating. It started living a new life with weaving many air threads, many expectations, many imaginations, many dreams into woof. Woof is actually a thread woven across the loom, but here the poet wants to convey into a life. Okay, the woof has been compared with life. As I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof, and it happens when I become sensitive, I go nearer, I go to the nearest aspect of the rain when it comes, with the contact of the roof. And you can call it with a different way when it comes with the contact of my heart, when I feel it deeply and sensitively. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers, ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Is actually an old poetic word which is replacing over here before. It is a substitutory word that can be used instead of before. And dawn, as you all are acquainted, daybreak, the sunrise. And list is also actually, it is to match with the meat. Poet, instead of listen, he created list. Again, with a few poetic devices like alliteration, like memory, my mother, M sound, darling dreamers, D sound is created, then onomatopoeia when he is again saying and using the word better. And now the poem actually comes on the concluding paragraph, on the concluding stanza. Whenever we are having something bitter in our past, that bitterness, if it is understood properly and with the sensitive ears, and it is taken as a challenge, then perhaps in the present it will be the most powerful weapon for you, and it will be your the ultimate and the utmost strength that can be utilized by you to improve yourself and to develop yourself. As Sumitra Nandan Pant says, वियोगी होगा पहला कवि, आह से उपजा होगा ज्ञान, चुपके चुपके आँखों के रस्ते बही होगी कविता अनजान. The person in a miserable condition, he will be the first poet. The time when he is weeping, he will be composing a beautiful poem. So this beautiful experience of being sensitive towards ear, okay, it correlated and it correlates the poet with his past, when he calls, when he memorizes, when he recalls whom? His mother. And he's saying, with this beautification, with this divine touch, I find closer to my mother as she used in years ago, because now she is no more, but in my past she used to be with me, okay, and when she used to be with me, I was with my bliss with her. To regard the darling dreamers, please pay attention on this beautiful line, as she used in years ago, she was in my past. To regard the darling dreamer, for whom? For the person who is dreaming. I am the dreamer and I was a darling for her. So when she was with me in my past, the days were blissful, the days were ecstatic, as I felt now, I am feeling now. When I go nearer to this beautiful aspect of nature in the form of the raindrops, then I found as if I have come closer to my mother. She left them till the dawn. I know this is an illusion, this might be hallucination, and I know that before dawn, that means when I come across with the realness of the nature, again there will be the same monotonous life without a rain. So that makes it that now when the dawn will happen, all things will have gone. Either they are raindrops, either it is shadows, either it is the memory of my mother. Oh, I feel her fond look on me. But now, as I am in this zone, I am in this comfortable, parameter, so I find her closer to me, and as if he is sprinkling upon her, love me. As I listen to this refrain, when I listen to this beautiful song which is played upon the shingles. Which song? The song which is played by the nature upon my shingles, upon my roof, by the patter of the rain. By whom? By the patter and by the sprinkling